Yo, what is happening, 2K family? 2K mechanic back in the building with another video for you guys. And this is more of a serious video. And the topic for today's video is, can you afford 2K24? And before we get into this topic, everybody like up the video, comment down below if you feel like this topic is much needed in the 2K community, or if you have something to say relative to this topic. I love to hear your feedback, and also share this video on your other social media platforms if you find this content engaging. All right, let's get on with it, y'all. Can you afford 2K24? Now everybody knows every season or every 2K season, I do one of my first videos is a build video, and then I'll go over cost increase year over year, right? So if we look backwards, I'm gonna put the screen up real quick. If we look at 2K22 versus 2K23, right? All right, so if you look at 2K22 cost versus 2K23 cost versus 2K22, you see about as far as real world value goes, you see about a $15 increase just for the build. And that's about, as far as the attributes go, that's a probably 11% increase, right? So what I want to do for this video is, if we kept that same philosophy, instead of 11%, we go 12%, what can you expect to spend in 2K24, right? So first thing we want to know is, how did we get here? So let's go back to 2K21. In 2K21, we caught a break. Well, I'm only going to speak about next gen. Current gen, you guys, pretty much have your own system. And then also you can still do the My Career mode to get a lot of VC. So we're not going to talk about current gen too much, but let's talk about next gen. In 2K21 current gen, we got a break, right? Because we had the boost and Gatorade glitch. Means if you got to 99, if you bought 99 of each, right? And then also you got to carry over your balance transfer from PlayStation over to PlayStation Next Gen or Xbox Next Gen. So you're able to buy pretty much anything, right? So people used to get 99 boost, 99 Gatorade, and you'll be good for the rest of the year. And 2K didn't forget that. So 2K22 rolled around, and basically we had to pay for, basically it's pay to play for Gatorade and boost, right? You don't necessarily have to get it, but if you want to play competitively, it's pay to win, y'all. You got to get, especially got to get jump shot boost, or your jump shot is not going to be as effective as it would normally be. And any other boost that you might get will boost you and put you at a higher level than people that do not use boost, right? But then also in 2K22, as a reward, right, we had the statue. We got 2 spins on the statue. You got one when you're below 26, and then another one when you're above 26 that gave you greater rewards, right? But we still did have the cost of the boost and Gatorade was still the same, and that carried over to 2K23. But remember, 2K22, we had a double spin. Now in 2K23, what 2K did, which I don't agree with the pay to play model or system. I really don't like that model, but I understand how they're trying to do the business. If you're going to play, you got to kind of decide what you're going to do, right? But in 2K23, we've seen a higher increase in build costs, right? We've seen a higher increase for item costs, and we've seen a lower amount of VC payouts via My Career and via some of the quests that we had to do. Because you guys remember at the beginning of the year, quests like that would take you 4 weeks or 5 weeks to complete only gave you a payout of 2,500, which was a slap in the face. They've now since increased that to 10,000, which I don't know who told them that 2,500 was okay. And then also, you don't get the brand rewards from My Career that you used to get in previous 2Ks, because what 2K did was they put it on a contract system. And what that contract system basically means is, you do a contract and it might be like for 12 or 16 games. So after that 12 or 16 games, then you're able to get your reward, which is only 1,200. And it may stack the more seasons you complete, but it wasn't like that before. You see what I'm saying? So you have to play X amount of games to get marginal payouts, right? So 2K definitely finessed us in that aspect, right? So let's look at 2K24. So what do we expect for 2K24? So I'm gonna go ahead and show some things on the screen for everybody. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna show you, so this is assuming there is a 12% cost increase year from last year. Last year was 11%. Let's say they do 12% this year. Okay, so that would probably put us at about 510 for the VC costs. Then I got the player animations from what I estimated previously, and this could go up, right? Because we have a lot more animations, so you might have to buy a lot more. But remember, the animations stay on your character for all your characters, so you only have to buy it one time and you can use it on all your characters, right? So I'm about to change that player animation, but we're gonna keep it where it's at for right now. Now, something I didn't factor in last year was, let me go back. So if we look at the boosts in the Gatorade, the thing I didn't factor in last year, what I had on my chart was 10 boosts, jump shot, ball handle, Gatorade, right? But the average park player, and this is mostly for worst case, this is for like people that play park or people that play modes outside of rec and Pro Am 3v3, right? Your stage players, your park players. So usually people get on maybe, 2 or 3 hours and you might get in about 20 games, right? So that's 20, you're probably gonna need 20 jump shot, 20 ball handle, and 20 Gatorade. People usually buy both, especially if you're a ball handler, right? So if you do that, you are operating at a loss, right? So if we stack that up per day, let's say you play 20 games per day, your total will be about 21,750, even with the discount, y'all. I factor this in with the discount that you get once you do your workout. So, and let's say you play 20 games. Let's say most people average about 60% on the wins, right? So let's say you win 60. So that's 12 games and you lose 8 games, right? So we assume that you'll get about 350 VC per win currently, and then you'll get about 200 or less in a loss. So that'll net you around 5,800 VC. So you subtract that from the total, how much it will cost to use boost and play in park or these other modes, right? Outside of rec and Pro Am 3v3, then you will be negative 16K a day, right? So 16K a day will cost you $5 a day if you're spending VC, which is $35 a week, right? And then when we account for that in the boost in Gatorade, and this is just 1 week, y'all, on the table. So this is 1 week. 1 week of buying boost in Gatorade will cost you almost 150,000 VC. Okay. Another thing I didn't factor in the years before, because I don't buy gear and tattoos. I might buy some shoes and stuff like that. I might buy some gear for VC, but I pretty much buy a few items over the course of the year, right? But a lot of you guys buy gear and tattoos when you first start the game. Per build or every season you buy new gear, right? So this is factoring all the costs that you would need on your first build when people first start playing the game in season 1, right? So the total cost you can expect to see is about 680K VC for your very first build, okay? So that is $160. Now last year I think I had 135, but if you count for the boost and Gatorade increase in gears and tattoo, that's more really like 150 or 145, right? So this is another $15 increase from what you were spending previously, right? So this is how much it will cost, and this is not accounting for some other things, right? So expect to send your first build will probably going to cost you around $160 unless you don't buy boosts and you don't buy gear and tattoos, which most of you guys and girls definitely do. All right, so that's in the right. Like I said before, as far as the attributes goes, that accounts for 12%. All right, let's look at this other chart that I put together for everybody, so you can kind of see the numbers here. All right, so let's look at the $100 version versus $70 version. I don't plan on buying the $150 version, so I don't even account for that, right? Most people probably buy the $100 version or the $70 version. All right, so if we look here, let's look at the $100 version first. The base game is gonna cost you 100, and I think you get 100K VC off of the $100 version. Your first build is gonna cost you, well, most people probably spend 200 or $50, which will cost you 200. So that's a total of 300K, right? And you're boosting Gatorade, and this is a per week thing, so I'll just only account for the first week. So it's $35. That's going to net you 110 VC, and plus people buy gear and tattoos. That's going to cost you another $35, 125K VC. And then now we have seasons, y'all. A lot of you guys are going to get the season because of the boosts and stuff like that might be present in the season. And trust me, a lot of people's going to buy that season. So I just went ahead with the max seasons because I think they got a $10 version, $20 version. So we went ahead and put the $20 version. Okay. So that doesn't come with any VC that I'm aware of. Or it might, does it come with VC? I'm not sure. You guys will let me know in the comment section below. But as it stands, that will cost you $240 for your first build, and $240 will get you 535 VC. Now, if we remember, it costs about 680 to 690 KVC on your first build. So if you spend a $100 version, you'll still be minus 155K. So then you have to spend an additional $40 with a grand total of $280 to get close to 690K VC. All right. Now, if you do anything with my career will probably eliminate $35 cost. You probably get like 110, 120K from my career if you finish that. So that'll negate the cost of maybe gears or tattoos or something like that. But you will still spend the $100 version close to $240 on your first build. All right. And each build after that will cost you about $120, and $120 nets you 515,000 VC for each build if you plan to take that build to 99. So let's look at the $70 version. All right, so you're gonna pay $70 for the game, which I think you get 5K VC with that. Your first build, you'll probably spend 100, so you can get 450K VC. Then once you buy Boost and Gatorade, that's another 110. Gears Tattoos, that's a 125, right? Plus the seasons, now you're at $260, and this will all together bring you to 690, which is pretty much where you need to be. So that's a grand total of $260. Now, again, if you do my career grind, you can subtract about $35 from that. So that'll be $225 if you get the $70 version. All right. So between the two different versions, you see about a $20 difference. Now, you would think that you would get more if you spend on the $100 version, but if everything is the same and you do the same between both, if you're going to do the same between both, it seems like there's a $20 difference between the two. And that's probably because of the bonus you get when the 50K bonus you get from the first build when you put $100 down, right? And I just can't see me spending $100 on a $100 version, right? So that's the difference between the two, right? And then now if we look at this little chart here, so let's say the average user makes two builds. This includes a starter build and a build after that. So there's two builds plus season one and season pass. And then we're just looking at season one, y'all. And Boost and Gatorade for 6 weeks, that's $210 if you buy that pretty much every day. All right, so your first season grand total will be $575. And I think the average user might play for a season or two, depending on how good the game is, and they'll probably get two builds. So each person is looking at $575 unless you don't buy Boost and Gatorade, unless you grind, unless you don't buy any gear, right, and tattoos and stuff like that. Then you will significantly reduce your cost, but you're probably going to pay close to $200 for your first build and then $100 thereafter, right? So, 2K knows this, guys. They look at your spending habits. They look at all of this advanced metrics that they get from the data that they, record. What do we call it? The telemetric data and things and your habits and stuff like that online. So they are definitely looking at that and they're recording that. So they're able to kind of price things accordingly. All right. So essentially you're looking at, from the base game, you're looking at probably a times 6 increase than what we used to spend, or times 5 if you account for the build plus the game. So we're spending 5 to 6 times the amount that we would normally spend. And this is just the average person, y'all. It's probably going to spend between $500 and $600 to play my career on 2K. This is not even counting my team. All right. So a real quick recap for 2K Mechanic. Like, this is why I grind on my builds. I've made 28 builds this year, all of them grinded. No, I think I paid $50 on my first build when I first got the game. And that was it. Everything else is pretty much grinded for. And all the methods I use to grind, I've put on this channel. So, nobody can say you're lying or anything like that. And if you have questions on that, just post in the comment section below and I'll give you the full breakdown on how I build all my builds from the ground up without giving 2K VC. And let's move forward. All right, so this year I made about 28 builds. This is between 2 different PlayStation accounts and on Xbox. I think I have 4 or 5 builds on Xbox, and I've deleted probably 6 builds on PlayStation. And both of my, before I got banned on my original account, both of my accounts are full. All right, so that's about 28, 29 accounts. So this is how much I would have spent if I paid for VC like everybody else, right? So 28 builds comes to amount about 4,500. And if I paid close for each build, that would amount to $1,000. And if I paid boost and Gatorade every day leading up to, for 11 seasons, not 11 seasons, for 11 months, because I've been playing this game the whole year, y'all. That'd be $1,500. So I would have spent $7,000 just to play 2K this year, right? And just to let y'all know, that barely breaks even from what I get from YouTube. Barely breaks even for what I get from YouTube. So, you know, I always do the numbers each year. Well, I did the numbers a long time ago. So that's how I knew that I was not going to give 2K any VC. And plus I'm a grindhead. Outside of my first build, I don't pay for anything. You know, it's all grinded, etc. Right? But everybody doesn't have that luxury. Everybody doesn't have the particular habits that I have. And everybody doesn't know these numbers that I'm sharing with you guys today. So they don't know. So the next time somebody tells you you're broke or you don't have money to buy this and buy that, you tell them damn right. Like, there's no way I'm going to pay 2K, 7K a year. Unless, now if I was a big streamer, big YouTuber, right, that would be an investment, right? But 7,000 still is a lot of money. There's a lot of people make this within a day. A lot of people make this within a week on the higher end in this community. But that's just too much for me to be spending. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. All right. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think, and answer the question below. Can you afford to play 2K24? 2K Mechanic signing out. I will catch you guys on the next video. You guys have a blessed day. Catch you guys later. Peace, y'all.